Usually on Thursday at 7:30, Kevin Richards comes aboard with our tech news, and he will this Thursday again. I asked him to talk to us for a little bit this morning, though, about ObamaNet. You've heard about Obamacare. You heard about the Internet. Now they're calling it ObamaNet because the president says he promises to fix an Internet that apparently isn't broken. So what's this all about? Kevin Richards, Ventura Web Design. Thank you for joining us for a few minutes this morning.
Hey, good morning, Alan. It's always great to be with you. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday to you, too. So tell me, what is ObamaNet? What is the intent of the president wanting to fix something that apparently is not broken? I don't quite get it.
Well, you got to decide if you think it is broken or not. And the core of the argument is if you allow one website to be faster than another, are you actually making that other website slower? And it's actually a very hard question to follow. It's very similar to the way the Affordable Health Care Act was named. You know, I don't know that necessarily made things less expensive. I know for some of my employees that act actually made it more expensive for them. So you look at the words net neutrality. It makes you think that it's going to create a neutral and fair internet for all, and everybody's going to have the same access and the same speed. And you know, I think politicians, they all have good ideas and good hearts, and they want to do the right thing. But I think we've seen in the past that there's a lot of unintended consequences that come from, 2,000 pages of regulation. And what we're looking at right now in the news is there's apparently a 332-page draft that they're going to be voting on soon without any public review.
When you say they voting on, you're talking about the FCC, not Congress.
Yes, exactly. This is an FCC rule, and they're trying to create an independent, fair, and transparent set of rules to control to protect the content on the internet.
Now, this all goes back to a Communications Act of 1934. So that's what they're basing this on. Now, you work much more closely with the internet than I do. I work, using it, but you get inside the guts of it. So I've got to ask you, from your perspective, is this something that's needed? Will it actually make things more net neutral, fair for everybody, or will it wind up having the government control what goes on and make things actually slower? I mean, I don't know the answer to these things.
Well, clearly the government is looking to exercise a lot more control over the internet. There's no question there. So you have to decide whether or not you believe that's a good thing. Now, from a technology standpoint, let's think about Netflix. The traffic on the internet, a large chunk of it, especially in the evening hours, is Netflix. If we did not have the ability to make Netflix stream faster and pull faster content, it would absolutely slow down when everybody is accessing it all at the same time. Netflix has deals in place with internet service providers and people all along the supply chain of the internet to deliver content to you faster. And it is that relationship that allows Netflix to be as successful as they've been today. So the answer clearly is, if we need to make one little website that gets 15 people visiting it per day just as fast as Netflix, then clearly by default you're going to end up with a much slower Netflix.
A slower Netflix, but will other things be... First of all, is that fair to slow them down? But then will we wind up actually having faster use of the internet elsewhere?
Well, I think that's the point I'm trying to make. That website that has very little traffic, you don't need to help it to be able to make it as fast as it can possibly be. The internet works on hops. So content that is being hosted in New York, for example, that you and I are accessing over here in Las Vegas, it's going to take a couple of milliseconds for that data to actually reach us. If we were physically closer to New York, it would be slightly faster. And so that's how Netflix is able to make sure that they've got the fastest delivery. They use what's called a content delivery network, and they mirror their content all over the world, and they basically eliminate those barriers. So no, the small websites don't need the help. The big websites do. But again, everything can be abused. And I think that what the government is trying to do is to step in and make sure that content does remain free and the content is allowed to go as fast as the content can.
So are you thinking this is a good thing then?
Well, I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm just trying to give you the facts and let you and your listeners decide.
All right, because I do know that of these regulations, which, by the way, going to be voted on by the FCC, not by Congress. So the transparency of what's going on is not going to be there because these new regulations are, you ready for this one? They're secret.
Yeah, you have to pass it so you can know what's in it.
Wait a minute. We've been told this once before.
Well, the keyword your listeners are going to want to look up today on Google is paid prioritization, and that will explain to them exactly what the FCC does not like, and that's what I was explaining to you about with Netflix. So it's paid prioritization.
All right, I will look it up then. Paid prioritization.
It allows content providers to get speedier delivery of their own content, and the real question is, does allowing them to have speedier delivery actually harm other websites? And I will say no.
Okay, so you think it may not be as bad as some might predict. But again, my concern is that all these new regs are all secret right now. And as you said, very truthfully, you have to pass it to know what's in it. And if we go for that again, then we're really suckers.
Well, here's the thing. This is the problem with this law. I didn't actually say that I think that this law is a good thing. And what I'm explaining to you is that's the problem with the language of the law. It's very hard for people to understand. Right now, the content providers are allowed to have that Netflix deal that I described to you in place. They're allowed to do it, and that is what is making Netflix as fast as it is today. If we take away that opportunity by making everything fair for everyone, there are a lot of news media outlets and writers online right now trying to explain that is going to make our internet incredibly slow.
Okay, it's all pretty clear as mud to me. So,
Right.
All right, I'm going to see what I can find out more and stay on top of this. We'll talk more about this on Thursday, okay?
Yeah, we need to do more on Thursday. It's a very difficult topic to understand.
I think it is. I mean, I think I understand a lot of things pretty clearly, but this seems to be as clear as mud. So, all right, Kevin Richards, CEO with Ventura Web Design. Find out more about Ventura Web Design by going to alanstock.com. On the right-hand side of the page, you'll see the little icon there. You can click onto that and get in touch with Kevin or the good folks also at Ventura Web Design. Kevin, we'll talk to you and see you in studio on Thursday.
Outstanding. Thanks so much, Alan.
Thanks for joining us this morning. Appreciate it very much.